Alright, part 4 to a Melvin Thomas leash. And in case you're wondering why I keep mentioning that name, he's the gentleman and excellent knotter that showed us how to take these ties and knots and make this very beautiful leash. Okay, so by request, I'm going to show you basically one of his videos that he put out, you know, and to show you guys how to complete this. Alright, so by request, here you go. Here you guys go. Alright, you have tied your handle, let's say 18 inches, right? So your handle should be 18 inches long. You bring it back, you have 8 strands. You need to take 4 of those strands. You need to take 4 of those strands, run them back through the main braid here where you started out underneath here, okay? To lock everything in place so it won't slide on you. And then you want to adjust the other cords as needed. Try to make them as parallel as you can, and you can see I alternated the colors. So basically you want to run the cords back through the braid the best way you can, alternating the colors and keeping them parallel with one another, so you don't have one way down here and the other one's up here, because most braids, as you know, when you're braiding, you'll have a few strands that are far back. You need to kind of bring them up and you know, get them up from the rear, as we used to say in the Marines. Alright, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Alright, so once you got those once you got that situated, which will take you a little bit, so I recommend you tying your handle a little bit longer, maybe 19-20 inches, because you'll probably lose an inch or two trying to get the braid where you want it at, just in case. Alright, so again, first time you'll be able to fill it out a lot better and see what works for you and what you need to do for yourself. Alright, so we're going to take 4 of the colors we're not going to use right now, which will be here in the brown. We're going to get this brown out the way right now. So we have 4 of the greens hanging right. Now, what I like to do is pin them in as I turn them, okay? This pin is only holding the cardboard on here, which this is basically just a paper towel cardboard cutout that I'm using. Alright, so I'm going to take this cord here, and I'm going to probably wrap around about, I do mine a little bit more than halfway around. Okay, so there's a start, and I'm probably pinning it right about right here. And you can always adjust the pins as needed when you get them all pinned in here, okay, to see where you're at. Alright, so first cord wrapped around. Second grain, obviously you're going to follow around just like you did with the first, staying to the right. I work to the right. If you guys are left-handed, so basically just reverse the direction. Same thing. Alright, third green, bring it around just like you did there. And this is basically the start to many different methods you can use with multiple strands and tying a gaucho. Fourth strand, bring it around like the same. Alright, so you got them all pinned in. Should be looking something like that, right? Okay, good. Now what you're going to do is keep the brown out the way, and you're going to take your first green, and you're going to take your lacing needle here, okay, and thank you, Manuel. I know the difference between a fit and a marlin spike now. I appreciate that. I like to learn. Alright, so your first green going up, you're going to go over the one to its right, under, over, under, over, and under again, and you want to finish going under, okay? So again, that's over, under, over, under, over, under. You should be going under 3 times, and you should be finishing with under. Alright, undo your lacing needle. Go to the second green now. And it's good to have your ends, you know, ready for the lacing needle to be put on, so you don't have to, you know, take too much time, mess around, and maybe lose your spot. Alright, that's with any braid. So over, under. Alright, and it's good to repeat out loud. It's good to say it out loud too, as you're tying it. Even with me. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay, just kidding. You don't want me to do that again. So, under, over, under. Again, we want to go under about 3 times, right? Right. And again, you can, you know, do all kinds of wild stuff, you know, with a gaucho, multi-strand knot. And when you go up, you want to make sure you come up under, you know, right next to the one you just tied, okay? So if you skipped one and you're 2 chords over right here instead of right here, then you made a mistake, go back. Alright, let's go to the third green. Again, over the one to its right, under the next one, over, get off my pin there, under, over, and then under, okay, and you're going to have your last chord, so that one went, get that green out the way there, so this one goes over, under, over, under, over, and under, stop right there, right? Good. And your fourth green, get these out the way here as best you can. Now here, when you do the last one, make sure you stay between the 2 chords that you should be in between, okay? So here, you're going to take this and go over, under, sorry for bumping you. Alright, so over, under, make sure you stay between these chords here, okay? Under, over. I talk to myself a lot, especially when I'm tying, even throughout the day. Over, and then finish going under 3 times, right? Good. Okay, so you should have it looking somewhat like this, right? Now, once you got all those done, you're going to bring the brown, and you're going to bring them down. Undo them all. And of course, as you know, you want to make sure you keep these in the right place in between the greens, right? So here to start off with, attach your high-tech lacing needle. Alright, so keep in between the green, and you're going to start by going over your hanging green, following the one right to its right, okay? See that? Alright, so you're going to go over, under, follow the same pattern. Alright, being sure to keep to the left of the green right here, okay? Over, under, over, and then under. And you should be finishing these by going under at the bottom, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and bring all those down right now. It's sometimes good to do certain steps in a certain way so you don't lose your way, okay? Okay, we're going to do the next brown to it, right? Okay, good. This one right here. Alright, we're going to throw this up underneath here, okay? I'm sorry, hold on there. Get that out the way, I mean. Alright, get out the way. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so this one you just did. That green should be under its own green, okay? Alright, now you're going to take the next brown and you're going to follow the same pattern. Alright, so you're going to start here. You're going to go over with this one here, under. Over. Under. And then again, over and under. And all your browns should be coming and finishing at the under mark. Alright? And it's a good idea to keep your greens tied up out the way. Just make sure you don't, go under when you're supposed to go over up there when you bring the browns down. Okay, so here we same thing, over, under, and it repeats itself. As long as you get the first step right, you just basically repeat that first step. Alright, all these chords in a way could kind of confuse you, sorry about that. So, should be looking like that. Now, we have one more brown to do. So, let's get that out the way. You're going to take this one here, the last brown, same thing as before. Let's get these out the way. Okay. Over. Under. And over. Let's get these extra chords out the way. There. Now you should have all these running down and they should all be in the same exact spot. Okay. Now this is where Melvin taught us where you can either do the gaucho style pattern or you can do the herringbone style pattern. Oh, you don't want to get on there, do you? There we go. So here, for the gaucho, what we're going to do is we're going to go over 2. Okay, so keep track of where you're at. All right, what I mean by over 2 is you're going to count 2. 1, 2. You want to go over these 2 here. Then you can go under 2. And it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so over 2. Under 2. Over 2. Under 2. Over 2. And under 2. And you should be coming up under with 3 unders under its own color, just like that. Okay. Alright, let that hang there. Again, you can keep these tied out the way, you know, as you do them. Let's go to the next chord, and you're going to do the same thing. Now, as I mentioned to you, you can do the herringbone pattern, which would basically, instead of going over 2, starting out with, you would go under 2. Okay, so you would go under 2, over 2, under 2. All right, but with this one here, and you can actually take these pins out the way now. You don't need them. Okay, so, all right. Again, gaucho is over 2, under 2, over 2. The herringbone style would be under 2, over 2, like so. Got it? All right. So here we're going to go over 2 again, under 2, all right. You can see it kind of starting to form a little bit. Under 2, over 2. Sorry for turning it sideways, whatever, I'm trying to get the needle through. Alright, you guys got the point, right? You guys got the point? If not, here's one for you. Here's the point for you. Here, get the point? Get the point? Good. Alright. So, now let's focus here. So you went under 2, over 2, and again, you should be finishing with an under 2, under its own color. So brown should be going under brown. Alright, just like that. Alright, you can do this for all of them. Again, over 2, under 2. Okay. I guess it'd help if I fid lacing with my left hand here. So under 2, over 2, under 2. That pin should be out the way by now. Okay, I'm not good with my left hand. Alright, under 2, over 2, and then you can go under 2 again, right? And you want to come up where there's no chord at, okay? So, oops, I dropped you. I did. Okay, I got you back. Alright. So you should be coming up with no other cord being in that slot. Okay, so each cord should have their own slot at the top there. And we got one more brown to go do. Take that out of there. Okay. Again, for this pattern, for the gaucho, we're going to go over 2 starting out and under 2. Over 2 and under 2. Over 2. Keeping your cord in the right path, in the right lane there. All right. Now, you basically tied it. That's that. Now is the tightening process, which is not that bad of a deal. To tighten it, you can go ahead and keep your cardboard on there or pull it out, whatever it is you need to do. But basically, to tighten it up, well, I got a pin still left in there. Get out of there. Let me get that pin out of there. There we go. Okay. So to tighten it up now, you can go ahead and do it bit by bit right now. But when you do run these down here, and I'm gonna not go through the full mode of you, whatever. But when you take these down, some people can go over 1 and tuck it down like there, okay. But I would say the right way would be to go over 2, okay. So 1, and then 2, down its own color again, okay, and run it down just like so. All right. Here, let me do that again. So here, this one's sticking up right here, over, down here. All right. So go over 2. All right, like so. And you're going to do this to all of them, all right? I mean, you can do the one right next to it if you want, but it's going to look like a, see how that's going to complete the pattern instead of going on over 1. Okay? And some people do that, and you know what? Hey, it's whatever. That's one thing about tying. It's whatever you like, whatever suits you best, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you like that looks the best, to each his own. So instead of going under this one here, I'd recommend going under the second one. And when you do start doing this, which this is, this is the fun part, this is the easy part. Keep these up a little bit, so that way you know which ones you've done. Okay? So make sure you keep these up a little bit when you do tuck them down. All right, because you want to give this a good yank when you're done tying it. And then, of course, when it's tight, when it's real tight, these are real easy to pull down. Okay? All right? Okay, and do each one just like that. Now, when you get this real tight and you pull these down and then that sucker is real tight, what I recommend is, and this is what I was told by Melvin himself, a genius. I love that guy. You cut them off here as close as you can, and then you tuck them up in there. Don't singe them. I was told don't singe them, and just tuck them up in there, okay? That's the best thing to do. Use this right here. I like using hemostats because it has more of a blunt end than this, and push it up in there, okay? Just jam it up in there. Just like that. Yeah, like that. Okay. Alright, you guys got that? And then once you get it tightened up real nice and tight, it's going to be hugged against this knot here. You can kind of push up on it here and keep tightening it up. Okay, one by one. Pull down, up. And again, don't run it all the way down yet, okay? Make sure you leave a little bit of slack up here until you're ready to pull these down for the last time to give it a good tight. And to tighten up the slack here, okay? Good. Hope you guys got that. All right? Copy.